There's a couple of things going on here. You did end a cycle recently, and there is a lot of stability to the ending of that cycle. Like, one thing that is very present in this reading is like Ten of Pentacles, Hierophant energy. It's very sturdy. It's very, there's a higher calling that's written into that energy that feels moral and faithful and good. It feels certain, However, this collective is aware of another situation that's like unfolding in the background of your life that is creating this anticipation of the other shoe dropping, or like, when is the other shoe gonna drop? That just the reason why, because I don't think that you're thinking about this all of the time. I don't think it's taking up so much mental space that it's, you're anxious about it, but it's a mindset. It's the way that it's affecting your mentality and your mind that is the issue that is being addressed in this reading. And it's taken me a few tries here to kind of get to that root of things. I don't think that you're necessarily scared for the future, but you certainly aren't looking toward it and saying like, I am so excited or I am so ready, right? And that's not just like your finances, because we could say that like, okay, well, maybe you don't have a savings account, or maybe we don't, maybe we're going from like paycheck to paycheck, or you're just not super comfortable, and that could be the reason why. That's not what this is. There is a person or a situation that is like they, that they have the ability and like the potential to completely mishandle things, and I'm hearing like sabotage things for you. And that situation, as it is running in the background, even though you're not thinking about it all the time, that is what is impacting you here. I've got a good amount of cards in front of me. Like I said, I've tried this a few times. So I think we're going to take like the guidance approach in this reading, because addressing that, like, I see this collective as primarily focused on your peace and, harmony in your home, harmony in your relationships, kind of just enjoying life. 222 on the timer. So like there's this, twos are like duality, right? There's like the understanding of what is and also what is, right? There's the two truths thing. So yeah, I'm gonna hang on. I almost feel like there's a way in which you're creating stagnation for yourself here. Your dreams might be pretty significant, and I almost wonder if like your dreams or the messages that like you might be interpreting from your dreams are perpetuating anxiety. Like you're kind of like, well, I dreamed about this. And so something that's coming through here is like to not ascribe like a mystical meaning to everything, to kind of just allow life to go through like the process of life, and not try to like find, it's like cognitive bias, right? It's like not trying to find truth or answers or certainty in signs and symbols all the time. It's kind of shifting from like a mystical perspective to a more scientific, more grounded perspective might be helpful for this collective right now. But what's cool is like I have healing wounds and luck. So I think that you're very aware of how fortunate you've been, and that can create that gratitude, right? And then I have graceful persistence and productivity. This is, I think, very largely based in, meaning your guidance, I think is very largely based in just like chop wood, carry water, and also kind of, the anxiety or the anticipation of the future will put you into like a freeze mode or like a flight mode or whatever works for you. And for this collective, I'm feeling more like it's like a freeze, like there's a perpetuation of stagnant energy that comes from expecting, the future to not pan out in the way, or like the rug to be ripped out from under you, right? Two of Cups here, with the Fool. Yeah, I feel like that's that new cycle that I was talking about at the beginning. Like there's something really good about this. The Knight of Cups, Seven of Wands, the Lovers, the Moon, the Ten of Swords. Oh, another thing. Oh, we've had a couple of messages about resentment coming through. I wonder if you're holding something to someone that they don't know that you're holding them to. Maybe. I wonder if you're holding something to someone that they do not know that you are holding them to. That is not fair. That is not fair. That's a no-no. Hang on. Well, the Ten of Swords came out in reverse. I have the Nine of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. Damn. King of Swords, the Emperor. It's not safe for me to forget. I do forgive, but I do not forget. That's, you know, I talk about that a lot in collective readings and on stream, you know, forgive but don't forget. But is it really forgiveness if you are keeping it in mind and referring back to it anytime something gets challenging? Is it really forgiveness? If you're applying yourself to rigidity, right? Because we need that forgiveness in order for things to really like smooth out and move forward. So there's a few layers to this reading, right? There's what is going, you know, what you need to do to perpetuate positive like movement in the cycle that you just opened, because you did just close the cycle, right? And then there's the other part of this reading that's saying like, hey, like, yes, this situation is running in the background. What can you do about that? Like kind of promoting a comfortability and like peace within you. So part of it is, I mean, all of it's your responsibility, but part of it is in like your day-to-day chop wood, carry water. And then another part of it is in your mindset and mentality. This is a lot of work for the collective. This is a lot of work for you. You're tackling, it's like you're playing like 5D chess a little bit, 5D chess a little bit. Peace. I'm almost kind of wondering if this collective is peace and guardianship with strength at the bottom. I almost wonder if you're about to go through like another like spiritual awakening or something. Happiness and balance. There's like surface level happiness, and then there's fulfillment. I'm gonna look into what's coming in for this collective. I feel like that's a good way. I feel like that's a good way to move forward. Hang on. So you might be pursuing something that is like new to you, or you're studying, or you've gotten a new job or promotion or whatever. And I see you pursuing that, but something that's coming through here is kind of how fragile your ego is right now. And you can be aware of that. You may not be, but like the fragile ego is what wants to be addressed in this part of the reading, because your certainty, like just because you're new at something, or just because you don't know entirely what the next step is, doesn't mean that like your commitment should be questioned, right? I think that what this collective is kind of missing out on is a degree of confidence and certainty of self that kind of blankets the whole issue, right? It's kind of like blanketing, I mean, like everything that we've talked about here. Something that I'm hearing is like, I've always got my back. And that might be true, but even saying that is like a double-edged sword, because like there's, I've always got my back. And then there's like, I've always got my back. Right. So like, how are you saying it, right? The Empress and the Seven of Cups, where the Empress was the last card out with that Seven of Cups at the bottom. The Tower reversed with the Lovers. I would actually also check into what other people are saying to you in your life. Are they gassing you up or not? And if they are not, are you listening to them? And if they are you listening to them? You know, the Hermit. I really don't want this whole like 10-minute reading to come down to like, hey, talk nicer to yourself, but I kind of feel like that's what it's coming down to. And, you know, usually my readings, there's like some degree of juiciness, but this reading is very much so like a keep on trucking, be nice to yourself, don't give up. Like, listen when somebody gives you a compliment, take it, you know, don't freak out just because you spilled the milk, right? Everything's gonna be okay. That's what Luna says.